Our regular city council meeting to order as it is 6 o'clock. All right, at this time, we will have if we could call the roll, please, Aubriana, to start out with.
Bates,
Here.
Mangum,
Here.
Nichols. Here. Paulson.
Here.
Satterfield.
Here.
Swanson.
Here.
Dahlquist.
Here. All right, at this time, I would ask you to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Afterwards, we will have our invocation from Pastor Jim Jones representing Blazing Grace Ministries. So please remain standing for that after the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for having me. Matthew 25, verse 38 says, Jesus speaks and says, "But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only." And he goes on to talk about the fact that he's coming again. And we see things in the Middle East right now, in Israel, that are happening, that are freaking people out, but all it's doing is falling into place. Father, I just come to you now. We thank you for this time. Lord, I ask you to be with those at this meeting, not only those in the audience, but with the council. Let all the things that are done be pleasing to you. And Lord, I just pray that we don't get too caught up in everything and forget about you. We know that you're coming, and we know you're coming back, and we know that things are close. We thank you, and I ask your blessing on this city and on all those in it, and those who run it, those for our law enforcement and our first responders. Thank you for them, for all that they do. And Lord, I just pray that each one will see what's happening and be ready when you're here, when you come. You say you're coming as a thief in the night. Bless this time, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just a quick announcement or slight change on the agenda. Agenda item 11 pertained to the community garden project. We're going to remove that from the agenda and we'll revisit that in a couple of weeks. So item number 3 is the consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve them from the following meetings. Clarification and regular city council meetings of February 5, 2026, and special city council meeting of February 12, 2026. B, material claims. Council may wish to approve the material claims for the period February 16 to 28, 2026. And then C is Community Development Block Grant Advisory Committee appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Meg Holmes to serve as a member of the CDBG Advisory Committee, replacing Brett Walker, whose term expired. Meg's term will begin March 6, 2026, and expire January 1, 2029.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve the consent agenda, agenda item 3 as outlined, items A, B, and C.
Second.
All right, we have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
All right, and we do not have any proclamations this evening, but we will move on to agenda item 5, which is the calendar review. Yes,
I would like to add an item to
Sure,
the
sure.
calendar. So the Pocatello Arts Council, I'm the council liaison to that commission. I think, is it commission or council? Forgive me.
I think it's council.
Council, okay,
Yeah.
got it. They are having annual Empty Bowls event from 5 to 7 p.m. at Juniper Hills Country Club, Monday, March 16th. It's an event where you purchase a ceramic bowl, you get some soup, and then the proceeds go to the food bank. So it's kind of a visual arts event mixed with fundraiser and put on by our Arts Council. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then on March 12th at 9 a.m., City Council work session followed by a special City Council meeting. On March 13th, 8:30 a.m., special City Council goal setting meeting. March 19th at 5:30 p.m. is the council clarification meeting, followed by the regular City Council meeting at 6 p.m. Some other events, in addition to what Councilwoman Swanson mentioned, was we have the City Creek Recreation Area gates. They're closed to motorized access until approximately May 15th, 2026. The City of Pocatello will begin its annual spring cleanup at Rest Lawn Memorial Gardens and Mountain View Cemetery starting Tuesday, March 31, weather permitting. Crews will continue working through the month of April to complete the cleanup process. Reminder, especially today, keep sidewalks clear of snow and ice. When clearing sidewalks and driveways of snow, please do not place snow in the street. It becomes a driving hazard. So item number 6 is items from the audience. This time has been set aside to hear items from the audience not listed on the agenda. Items which appeared somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under the agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of the meeting in order to be recognized. Note the time allotted for this item is 15 minutes with a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. And it looks like we have Nikki Taysom has signed in. So Nikki.
Thank you. Nikki Taysom, Pocatello, Idaho. In our Pledge of Allegiance, we just declared that we are a nation under God, a Christian constitutional republic. Have we the people of the United States of America as sovereignty as a whole. We elect representatives to be the protectors of our law, the protectors of our health and safety, our national security, to maintain the sanctity of the whole. And under Robert's Rules of Order, which are rules of meeting decorum, I stood to have my right to speak. You're the public servant. I had some questions about what you were doing and some suggestions. To have you cut me off told me everything. And it's a repeat of the same thing. I mean, we want everyone to have success, do we not? Do we want not have health and happiness and peace and safety here? Freedom and independence, everybody in their own home, on their own land, like we used to be in America. Or do we want everybody jammed up in these tiny little places, living on minimum everything? The First Amendment states, Congress, nor shall any other, because under the 4th article it says that all other laws are pursuant thereof. The Constitution is the supreme law of this land, as it was established by God. That's in the 6th article. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. That includes funding or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. We were established as a Christian nation. This was regarding our right to freely exercise and practice our Christian faith that the rest of the world was rebelling against. Our founders, our pilgrims, left the tyranny of Europe so they could have those freedoms and blessings, and we had them. We're in the hole. We're a national security threat right here in this town. Chief Shy, you told me to my face that you talked to a Nazi survivor of a concentration camp. He
Nikki,
wasn't
if
a
you could
Nazi.
please address the council. At this time, it's addressing the council, please.
Well, I'm also addressing your chief, because you called him in here when I tried to have my right to speak, respectfully. I was told by Chief Shy that he told a Nazi Holocaust survivor that he would not let Nazism come to his town. It's here. It's in his own department. I'm not being rude. We're in a national security threat right here. I have family in life and death harm right now. The Constitution is the supreme law of this land. And if we're going to let all of our enemies in here, and they're enemies by what their beliefs are, what their tenets of their religion or military goal, drug cartels, we have child trafficking like I've addressed. What do you want this town to really be? What's your agenda? Because you made it clear to me right at that clarification meeting.
Thank you for your comments. Next, we have Idaho Law, a second citizen that signed in. Idaho,
Down
you're
the
next.
causes. The Honorable.
3 minutes, huh? Okay. This regards a transparency for you to deal with, and so I will be working on this with you. I will help give you information if you need so. This has to do with a place that's called People's Park. I am the one who came to the city, went into the records, and found out it was actually ended up in your possession. Okay? And that's over there on North Main Street. It's got the robber baron's statue there made of metal by the Proskas. And so that area is what we're talking about. That was then at one time with my meeting here with attorneys and everything about developing that or preparing that for a park for the people and also the Native Americans. Brian held another meeting and gave them a 20-year lease after they stole some of the land, endangered people, polluted the area, and didn't even recognize the real markers that have been there for generations of where the boundaries were. It is where your sewer goes along the river there too, because that used to be where you collected that stuff. So what I'm proposing for you, and at least I'm glad you attended the meeting at the college, Mark, with the Blackfoot mayor and one of the tribal people, about looking at developing relationships between the tribes in our city. It's about time we do it. Instead of fighting over who owns this bridge, come together, because that property was also supposed to go to them too, under their arrangements with the railroad when it got released, because it was owned by the Short Line Railroad. So what I would like you to do is investigate the person there that still owns the property, review that they maybe should take away that 20-year lease that was given to them by Brian Blatt, and all the subsequent things that have been done, polluting, accusations, trying to blame other people, killing his own horses, and trying to blame me. Oh, I mean, this guy just went out of his line. He didn't know who he was talking to, but he's telling me I did something, right? It's not a smart thing to do. So anyways, that's what it is. That's where it is. I hope to see what you do about it. I'm working with the tribes, and let's see if we can come together in a mutual respect of our community. I'm not talking Sacagawea Park, but the trail that starts there that goes into Sacagawea Park. That's another story, how that one came to be. But anyways, what I'm concerned is that People's Park. Maybe we'll put it in 3 languages, natives and ours. But let's work on it. Got any questions? I hope to meet with some of you. We can talk about it. I know the data, I know the dates, I know the corruption about it. We want to turn this city around. It's not just poor people robbing people, it's rich, not maybe rich, but people ripping off our city and land and things for their own greedy purposes and polluting. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been nice to address you all.
Agenda item 7, a public hearing, map amendment request at 3780 Philbin Road. This time has been set aside for the council to accept comments from the public regarding a request by Gate City Builders LLC, represented by David Hassan of Sunrise Engineering, to rezone approximately 2.12 acres of land located at 3780 Philbin Road from light industrial to residential commercial professional. Following a public hearing held on February 11, 2026, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the request. I now declare this public hearing open. Need to ask any council members if you have had any communication where this is an ex parte contract. If it's determined that they are not eligible to participate in the public hearing, so any issues there, council members? All right, at this time, I would ask the applicant to come forward and give their presentation.
Merrill Quell, Sunrise Engineering at 600 East Oak Street. The application that we've submitted for the rezone and the map amendment is the client at the first putting this out had some storage units and that he was putting on this area. And in going through this, realized that he didn't need that many storage units because the storage units are conditioned to be used for just the residents that live there at Breezy Commons. So he took another look at it and had us look at it to what he could put some more units in there. And through working with city staff and what his desires are, we could place another 29 units in there and reduce the storage units. So that's what's come through there so that we could do some of the rezoning to be able to have the 29 units along there, but then retain on the southerly side the remainder for the storage units. So that is all we had is a general highlight of it and what we're trying and what we're requesting. Have any questions? I'm happy to answer those.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Hi, Merrill.
Yes.
So we have 29 new units. How many were there to begin with,
There was 56 total.
including the 29, or we
Oh,
have
and now with the 29, there'll be 85.
85? And under normal zoning, not a PUD, how many would they have been allowed to put on that site?
That's a good question, because I did not have that figured in that. But with the PUD, we were able to get more, generally for something like this, the density around 30 units per acre, I believe, in an RCP, but Matt can answer that when he comes up.
Okay, thank you. But the overall reason for the PUD is to increase density, is that
Was in
right?
there and to do the clustering and putting in there and some of the park amenities and what he was trying to do.
Got it, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, thank you, Merrill. We have a staff report. Looks like Matt's coming forward.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Matthew Lewis, Senior Planner. As noted before you this evening is a request to amend the zoning of Lot 59, Block 1 of Breezy Commons Townhouses from light industrial to residential commercial professional. The future land use map has the 2.12 acre designated as mixed use, which is in line with the RCP zoning. The request will be followed by an application to amend a previously approved planning and development. Public hearing was held before the Plan and Zoning Commission on the evening of February 11th of 2026, at which time the commission recommended approval of the map amendment. Notice was posted on the subject property January 26th of 2026 and published in the Idaho State Journal on the 27th, January 27th of 2026, and again on February 17th, 2026. All property owners within 300-foot radius of the external boundaries of the subject property were also provided notice of the public hearing. No written comments have been received by staff as of this evening. In consideration of the application, staff concludes that the proposed zoning map amendment is compliant with Municipal Code Section 1702.170E. This concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, looks like we're good. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
For the record, has there been any written correspondence submitted?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Do we have testimony by anyone supporting the application? Do we have testimony for anyone uncommitted on the application? Or do we have any testimony from those opposed to the application?
Nikki Taysom, General Delivery, Pocatello, Idaho 83201. Thank you. I am opposed because, one, it's going from a light industrial to residential, commercial, professional, which this sounds like it's going to be more residential. And I would like to know, since it is light industrial, what is surrounding that area? Because it would not be good to put residential where there is light industrial, like the Century High School thing out there. Because of the type of traffic, the type of business of being around a residential area, and especially when you're going to be expanding it so hugely with so many more people and jamming more people into a certain small amount of space. It's just one of this laissez-faire thing. Whoever comes in and wants to do whatever, if they have the money, they get it done. I mean, there's so many places around this town that is like this, where some zoning was rezoned, just like the gun plant right across that big power plant facility, right next to a church, and then houses. And I mean, like I said, what do you want the town to be? There's no organization, and to put people in a position like that, and putting up all these high-density housing things and calling it affordable housing, then turning around and charging 13 to 18 or more a month, plus the excessive utility bills and all the things else. It's a scam. I mean, look at what we used to be. Our children have no place to grow up in a family setting. You know, my family had a place for a garden. We were right next to the school playground. We children could go anywhere. Everyone was your mom and dad. Our children aren't safe. The children are not even considered anymore, nor a family. Barely even a small local business. You can't afford it. I live in a shop after being evicted for calling code enforcement on a dump down on.
We're drifting too far away
No,
from
I'm
the
not,
topic
because
at
you just
hand.
put a bunch of apartments down there. Now you're doing more.
Yeah,
And now you're doing more over here and over here. It's chaos. I mean, you have Century High School out there, surrounded by businesses. I oppose it. In the name of Emmanuel, and who's the contractor? Where are they from? Utah or China?
thank you. Matt, was there something, I think there was a question about what kind of is in that area and other structures that Nikki had.
Do you want to see if there's any other opposition first?
Okay, sure, yeah, I'm sorry, just to not skip over that, but any others in the audience opposed to the application? Okay, thank you. So, yes, Merrill.
Sorry, I have short-term memory. I forgot the process. Around the area is to the south, there are some existing storage units, RV storage, and there's one of the O'Leary Canal. It's an irrigation ditch and that there, and then you go up against Cottage and then the Highway 30. And then to the east and the north is currently residential. And to the west is Bannock County property outside the city limits. And just to reiterate that there's 36 storage units that will be built with this phase. And they are only to be used by the 85 units in this area. They can't be used for anybody outside that area. So.
Okay, thank you, Merrill. Looks like we have a question.
This might be a question for Matt, but I know you can answer it. So this piece of land lines up with residential, correct?
Yes, on the one. Yeah,
On the
different sides.
two
yes.
sides there.
Yes.
So safe to say that it's going to blend in with the current zoning as it stands.
Yes, and it has to the north is already townhomes, very similar to what he's doing here, if not identical. So it'll blend in with those other 56 units.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item is before you. How would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Mangum.
I would move that we approve the map addendum as requested by Grant City Builders in agreement with, or in alignment with the Planning and Zoning Commission as outlined in Agenda Item 7.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. We have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Agenda item number 8, another public hearing, planned unit development, PUD amendment for Breezy Commons. This time has been set aside for the council to hear comments from the public regarding a request by Gate City Builders, represented by David Hassan of Sunrise Engineering, to amend the PUD known as Breezy Commons Townhouses to allow construction of 29 multifamily units and small storage units for residents of Breezy Commons development. Following a public hearing held on February 11, 2026, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the request with conditions. I declare this public hearing open. Council members, are there any issues with ex parte contact issues? Okay, seeing none, that if we could have the applicant come forward and give their presentation.
Merrill Quayle, Sunrise Engineering, 600 East Oak. And this is just a kind of an extension. It is the plan unit development to do the clustering and putting the townhomes and all that in there. And then they have the different amenities that we talked about. They've got a playground and that incorporates with stormwater and so forth. So basically, it's a continuation of a PUD, or like I said, an amendment to what's already there. And so it will be the 29 townhomes. And when I sat down, I heard a little voice tell me that it's not 36 storage units, but 35. So those that have bifocals and trifocals may understand the small print. So that is the parking, everything will be self-contained in there and continue with the development that's already been built. So.
Okay. Thank you. We have a staff report.
Again, good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commission, Council members, Matthew Lewis, Senior Planner with the city. As noted, the request before you is a amendment to a planning and development known as Breezy Commons townhouses to allow for construction of multifamily units, a total of 29 of those. The proposal also calls for construction of 35 small storage units to be used only by the residents in the living in the Breezy Commons development. The original PUD encompassed 7.39 acres, more or less, consisting of 56 zero-lot line townhome lots and 2 common lots. And details are provided in attachment 2 of the staff report within your packets if you would like to look at the details of that. The developer originally proposed to construct storage units as an amenity to be used only by the residents of Breezy Commons townhomes on Lot 59. The property owner is now desirous in reducing the amount of storage units in addition to allowing construction, again, of the 29 multifamily units. Each townhome-like unit, and just to give you an idea of what the developers kind of desires of is, if you're familiar with the kind of the townhome-like multifamily units on Jefferson, that's kind of what they would be looking at there, just to give you an idea of what that might look at. A public hearing was held before the Plan and Zoning Commission on the evening of February 11th, 2026. At the time, the commission recommended approval of the request to amend Breezy Commons Townhouses PUD, recorded as number 2211-5446, finding the application meets the standards for approval with conditions outlined in the staff report. All noticing requirements for the application have been met with no public comments being received. Staff concludes the planning and development amendment request is compliant with Pocatello Municipal Code, Section 1702-140, with the recommended conditions as provided in the staff report. This concludes my presentation. Would like to follow up on Councilman Nichols' question with regards to the total number of units that could be on there. Under code, you could have up to 30 units per acre, so there's much less there. Some of that is encumbered, obviously, by the fact that you have the O'Leary Canal there, but it's not a significant amount. So they could have quite a number of more units there than was being proposed. Any other questions from council, Mayor?
Looks like we're good.
Good.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
For the record, has there been any written correspondence submitted?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would ask if there's anyone here who would like to testify in support of the application. Anyone in the audience wish to submit testimony that are uncommitted to the application? Anyone opposed to the application?
Nikki Taysom, General Delivery, Pocatello, Idaho. Thank you. I'm opposing once more. I know how big an acre is. I built a home on an acre up in Alaska. And to think of 29 units being on less than 2.5 acres plus some storage units is just, it boggles my mind of how and it's going to fit there, first of all, and then having that many more people jammed together, what's it going to do to the traffic flow with already the other 56, I think it was? How big are these homes going to be? And again, who's going to be living in them and what kind of quality of life are they going to have? We're just fitting everybody into a little box without being able to have a life. They have to go somewhere else to have a life. I think there should be a rule, a law, that it shouldn't be even more, less than 1/2 acre. We're supposed to be independent, an independent nation. Families on their own lands, having their own gardens, their own water. We're in welcome to European Union, where everything's under control. There is no freedom. There's no independence. You can't even have a chore for your child to do, besides maybe taking out the garbage to the dumpster, which is a huge amount of money, millions of dollars just to get garbage in the dump. And so I'm opposed to this just because of the size and also just for the principle of what our country was established to be, and this isn't it. And you want to expand the city for what? Can't even manage what you have. You can't even manage what you have. And under the Declaration of Independence, when things infringe on our even health and happiness, our prosperity, we lose, we all lose. And we're supposed to be the light to the rest of the world like we used to be. People people looked to us, looked up to us, wanted to be like us. Now we're a laughing stock and just in the gutter like the rest. Under control. And our children being taught a very terrible thing. Our families aren't families. Our neighbors, you don't even know your neighbor. And so I do oppose, and I'm calling on you. We will account to our Father and Mother in heaven and our Savior for the blessing we were given of a U.S. sacred birthright and a duty and a stewardship to maintain the sanctity of what we were given. One nation under God, indivisible. A Christian constitutional republic of everybody on their own home, land of inheritance. Zion people. Not
Thank
Sodom,
you.
Gomorrah, and Babylon, and Nazi Germany. Thank you in the name
Thank
of
you for your
God.
comments. Any rebuttal time that you would like, Merrill? Okay, or any others opposed to the application? Okay, I declare the public hearing closed. Council, this item is before you. How would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we approve the planned unit development as outlined for Breezy Commons in Agenda Item 8, as outlined.
Second.
All right. We have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Paulson. Brianna, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Swanson?
I want to make one comment about why I'm voting yes. There was a report on housing recommendations for Pocatello that came out December 2025, and one of the places that Pocatello lags in is this particular type of housing. And so the scarcity of larger multifamily buildings can impact both the availability, cost, and cost of rental housing. So these are the kinds of developments that really help address the housing issues that we face in the city. My vote is yes.
Okay, thank you for that. Agenda item number 9, admission fee reduction requests, Idaho International Choral Festival. Council may wish to consider a request from the 2026 Idaho International Choral Festival for the city to continue its tradition of offering reduced admission fees at the Ross Park Aquatic Complex, Zoo Idaho, and Bannock County Historical Complex for visiting choir members during the upcoming festival to be held July 14 to 19, 2026. Staff estimates a reduction of $1,704 in admission fees if all currently committed choirs attend, based upon ratios of choir member patronage at previous festivals.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Mangum.
I would move that we approve the admission fee reduction request from the Idaho International Choral Festival 2026 as outlined in Agenda Item 9.
Second.
Thank you. We have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Satterfield. Brianna, please call the roll.
Mangum?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Paulson?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Agenda item 10, use agreement for Decadence LLC. Council may wish to approve a use agreement with Darren Black, owner of Decadence LLC, for youth adult skateboarding instruction to be held at Optimus Skate Park and Ross Park Skate Park from May through September, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents, subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Councilwoman Swanson.
Thanks. I would like to have Ann Butler review the relationships that city parks have with vendors like Decadence and explain a little bit about the fee structure and how that's shared.
Sure. Ann Butler, Parks and Recreation Director. We typically use a use agreement similar to this one for a variety of activities in our facilities and our parks. They're case by case, so we're discussing kind of the different ways we can do this. But in this case, we'll reserve the park for Darren. He'll teach the class. He'll take on the risk of teaching and the liability of safety equipment and all of those things. And he'll also pass per person, I think, $15 back to our department.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Mr. Mayor,
Oh, we're gonna do
Yes, I
another
think Councilman Paulson was first.
I would move to approve agenda item number 10, the use agreement with Decadence LLC for skateboarding instruction to be held at Optimus Skate Park, subject to legal department review.
second.
Thank you. We have a first from Councilman Paulson and a second from Councilman Mangum. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Paulson,
Yes.
Mangum,
Darren, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for doing something to support the youth of our city, especially like something like this. There's a lot of skaters, and you're a world-class skater. We got our own Tony Hawk right here, so we appreciate you. And with that, yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Enthusiastic, yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Sorry, I'm too old to take your class. Yes. Not true. Okay.
Thank you. As noted earlier, we are eliminating agenda item 11. So agenda item 12, piggyback bid acceptance for cemetery mini excavator lease for the Parks and Recreation Department. Council may wish to accept the piggyback bid of Sourcewell contract with Western States Caterpillar for the lease of one new Caterpillar 304 mini excavator consisting of 5 annual payments of $8,545 and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. Funding has been budgeted in the FY 2026 Parks and Recreation Cemetery Division budget.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilwoman Swanson.
I move that we accept the piggyback bid for cemetery mini excavator lease for the Parks and Recreation Department as outlined in agenda item number 12.
Second.
Okay.
Before we vote though, Mayor, can we hear
Yes.
from the department?
Yes.
And Butler, Parks and Rec Director.
So, Ms. Ann, a question was asked in the clarification meeting. We are getting rid of a piece of equipment to gain a piece of equipment, correct?
That is correct.
And through procurement, it's cheaper for us to lease this equipment versus purchasing it outright, correct?
We believe this is the very best option for us at this time.
All the questions I have.
Okay, anything else? All right, so we had a first from Councilwoman Swanson, a second from Councilman Mangum. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Swanson,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 13, airport passenger facility charge application. Council may wish to approve and authorize the submission of passenger facility charge application number 11 to the Federal Aviation Administration in the total amount of $1,472,931 and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. Yes,
Could
yes.
we hear from Alan on this, please?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Alan Evans, Airport Manager.
Alan, could you just explain quickly what this is and how it works?
Sure.
And it's a lot of money. It's $1.5 million. So
It is a lot of money. We're asking for the ability to collect. That is what we're looking for. What this is when you fly from an airport, you pay a passenger facility charge. It's added onto your ticket. It's about $4.50 each airport that you go through. And what we're looking at is in our capital improvement plan as we move forward, we're looking at using this PFC money to be able to match our grants that we get when these projects come forward. And so we're asking you to allow us to submit this passenger facility charge application to the FAA to allow us to go forward. And as I said a little earlier, the FAA looks at this, they're in compliance and feel that this is, the numbers that we've got are correct in what our projects will be, and they're in favor of us moving forward and collecting this. The airlines also have a say in this, and they actually are the ones that collect the money, and then it comes to us. And so it's, yeah, it's the way we do things in the airport world.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Any other questions? Right, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve the airport passenger facilities charge application being sent to the FAA, authorizing the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review as outlined in agenda item 13.
Second.
Thank you. We have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Agenda item 14, Airport Service and Support Agreement. Council may wish to approve a renewal service and support agreement with Prodigic to provide license, service, and support for 5 years with 2 automatic renewals of 3 years each for their Part 139 module utilized by the airport. The annual cost is $4,818 with a maximum increase of 10% during the initial term and maximum 5% increase for each renewal term, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move that we approve the airport service and support agreement from Prodigic, authorizing the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review as outlined in agenda item 14.
Second.
Thank you. I think I heard the second from Councilwoman Satterfield first. So we have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Satterfield. Is there any other discussion? Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Agenda item 15, resolution/airport lease agreement for Teton Leasing. Council may wish to adopt a resolution and approve a lease agreement with Teton Leasing for approximately 0.86 acres of bare ground property for the purpose of storage and supplies and equipment necessary to operate and expand their fixed base operator business. Term is 5 years and rental rate will be $11,381.40 per year to be increased annually according to the CPI with a full rate review in 2026, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I move
council.
to approve agenda item number 15 as outlined.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a first from Councilman Nichols and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Any other discussion? Aubriana, please call the roll.
Nichols,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Agenda item 16, resolution/airport lease agreement, Grayside Properties. Council may wish to adopt a resolution and approve an amendment to the existing lease agreement with Grayside Properties for hangar property at the airport, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. The amendment will A, adjust the lease rate to the commercial airside rate of 30 cents per square foot, and B, authorize Grayside Properties to sublease the hangar facilities constructed on the leased premises. All other lease terms remain unchanged.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind explaining just for the public, just 30 cents seems low, but can you just explain why that is?
Sure. Alan Evans, Airport Manager, once again. So, yeah, to a lot of people, 30 cents sounds very, very low. And as I was mentioning a little earlier, we just have gone through a rate study that we're working on our rates and making sure that they're in alignment with most airports similar to us. And the problem with that is when you've seen one airport, you've seen one airport. Every airport's quite a little bit different. But as we've gone through this, our rates are in alignment quite closely to what else the other airports that are out there. I think the other thing that I probably should mention when you look at that, This is for the land only. This is not the building that sits on top of it. So you're 30 cents on the land, and there are a lot of restrictions on that land as to what you can do with it. And so you can't store things like that, which is a little different than in town, so.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
So is it typical that we sublease hangar space like we're
So-
doing here?
So on this one here, this gentleman built 3 hangars. His intent was to sell those. He was going to keep one and sell those. He has not been able to sell that yet, and so he's had some demand for renting them. So what we've asked to do is, they were obviously set at a lower rate than the commercial rate, and so that's why we're trying to get him more in compliance with the other commercial businesses that we have out there. So this will put them back. And yes, we do allow that from our tenants. They have that ability as long as they're paying this commercial rate.
Thank you.
Okay, no question from Councilman Swanson. Or, I'm sorry, Councilman Nichols. Sorry.
Don't have questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, is Grayside responsible or are the people under the lease for the lease?
Yes, it'll be still with Grayside. They will pay that lease rate.
Okay, and they have all the
Yeah,
responsibility?
yeah,
They're
it's just giving them the
subleasing it.
ability to rent out space in those hangars.
Got it.
is really
Thank
what
you.
it's doing.
So liability-wise, is it Grayside or is it the tenant who's liable? Do we get a copy of that lease? Are we in there? If there's an insurance, are we named as the insured? Say there's a fire that breaks out or something, how does that?
So they have to insure their hangar. We require them to carry insurance on it. I don't know if on their private hangars we are included in that. In our warehouses, we obviously have insurance and they are required to have insurance. Do you know, Jared?
I believe our lease requires that they have insurance and that they do name us as an additional insured.
That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure on that. So,
Thank you.
okay, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move that we approve the resolution airport lease amendment with Grayside Properties as outlined in agenda item 16, including items A and B, authorizing the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Agenda item 17, Grant Policy and Procedures Manual Revision Adoption. Council may wish to adopt proposed revisions to the Grant Policy and Procedures Manual as recommended and discussed at the February 12, 2026 City Council Work Session and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Mangum.
I believe Councilwoman Swanson had something.
Okay, sorry, I didn't catch that, but go ahead.
Thank you. Christine, if you could, for the public, explain what a short summary is of the grant policy changes and what problems or issues those changes were trying to cover.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Christine Howe, Grants Manager. The Finance Department has been undergoing a review of the city's financial policies and identified the grant policy and procedures as one of our previously adopted policies that needed update. So working together, we took a look at that document, which was originally adopted in 2018, to come up with some of the revisions that align more with the process that we currently follow in the city. This included some of the changes, such as language changes to make it reference Code of Federal Regulations or Idaho Code more broadly, so we didn't have a specific reference in the event those codes changed. In addition, we defined the term grant to include other types of special funding or appropriations that might come in that may not on their face seem to be a grant initially, but do serve and act as a grant and should be treated as such. In addition, we added in the roles and responsibilities for the departments that align more closely with what we're doing in the city, such as the council approval process for all grant applications, the legal review process, as well as adding the grants division, which didn't previously exist when this policy was adopted. We also realigned some of the finance department's responsibilities as those were being conducted now by department heads or the grant division. So they're more in charge of the financial side of things, ensuring compliance with accounting and those types of things. And we also ensure that the policies go through the entire grant life cycle, so not just from the application, but all the way through award and closeout. So we've updated the policies to make sure that the closeout requirements are followed. So we align with both our city record retention policy as well as, say, the grant record retention policy, and make sure all that documentation's on file so we can be compliant with audit requirements and things like that. So it was a number of updates to get us from 2018 to 2026, enacting what we're currently doing in the city already and under our grant process, but just getting the policies to reflect that.
Thanks, Christine.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, yes.
Christine, thank you for all that you do in this grants division. There's a lot of grants that you are applying for, and when you are awarded quite a few grants. Could you give me a rough estimate of what the dollar is that you probably bring in annually on average?
Thank you for the question. It's challenging to break it down annually because a lot of them are multi-year programs. But in our current grant tracking, the city at any time, and this is between the grants division as well as some of the other departments that have their own individual grants, we have roughly about $50 million worth of grants that are active in any fiscal year. And so that could be our entitlement programs, the funding we get in through, say, the FAA for the airport or PRT from transit, as well as some of the competitive grants that we apply for and get, or some of those settlement funds that we're able to get through state agencies.
Awesome. So this work is very important, so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christine.
Thanks.
Right, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move that we approve the grant policy and procedure manual revision adoption as outlined in agenda item 17, authorizing the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, we have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Agenda item 18, additional service request number 6 for Centennial Rainy Levee Setback Project, Harmony Design and Engineering. Council may wish to approve additional service request number 6 for the contract between Harmony Design and Engineering and the City of Pocatello in the amount of $46,000 to complete the design of the Centennial Rainy Levee Setback Project and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review. This work is funded by a Bureau of Reclamation Water Smart Grant and ARPA grant match.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I have
Councilman
a few
Bates.
questions. So Christine and Becky, can you briefly explain? So this is in addition to an agreement that was made with Harmony Engineering in 2019. And can you explain the need for the additional work?
Sure. So Christine Howe, Grants Manager. As you noted, the original contract with Harmony was established in 2019, and that was to complete the preliminary and, if funding allowed, final design of the Rainy Levee Setback Project, as well as the components of the Centennial Park and other Rainy Park project elements. In their work, they've completed the engineering for final design, but through that process and that final design review, it was identified that the proposed levee setback would actually be placed on a new city water line that had been installed, a new 20-inch line. So there was an existing line that's still retained there, and then a new line was installed more recently. And so it was determined that the final design would need to be reworked to account for that water line so that the levee, as it's set back, no longer is on top of that line.
Perfect, thank you. I have a few questions. Would you mind just explaining this particular Water Smart grant? What all does it cover?
Sure. So this is specifically for the work that will set the levee back to help improve the restoration of the wetland and the subsequent kind of water quality improvements we'll see on the river. So this component is a piece of the rainy side of the overall project and does not include elements like the parking on the rainy side, excuse me, or any of the work on the Centennial side. And part of that is because the Water Smart grant has limited scope in the types of work that it can fund. So the grant funding can't fund the construction of a parking lot or parking areas, for example. And so it is limited to just that piece of the project.
So will this grant cover construction costs of moving the levee?
Yes, it will cover the construction.
Okay. And so this 46,000, can you tell me roughly after paying that, how much funds are left between grant and ARPA funds to complete this project? Are we confident there's enough money between those two to do full construction?
Yes, the full ARPA, or the full grant, including the ARPA match, is just about 2.15 million, and current engineers' estimates from last year were below that number, so we believe we're well within the scope for this particular piece of the project. Specifically, we've spent down about 350,000 of the Water Smart grant so far, so we still have about 1.8 million remaining to account for the final engineering design and then the construction piece.
Okay. And just final question. I'm sorry, how much was the ARPA that we budgeted for this as well?
The ARPA match is 524,000.
524. Okay.
It's a 20% match on the grant award.
Okay. And this work, obviously, none of this work has been done yet. This 46,000 would fund work that would be done by Harmony after we approve the money.
Correct, yeah, for the reworked final design and then any of the Army Corps permitting requirements.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, yes.
Can you talk briefly about how this particular project fits into the comprehensive plan for the city, and maybe more specifically, the River Vision?
Sure, so I'll let Becky take, as the planning manager, she'll be able to fill you in on that.
Thanks. So Becky Babb, planning manager. The overall River Vision was completed just about 10 years ago. This is one of the flagship projects that was identified in the River Vision, and it has been in the process of being funded through, as Councilman Bates pointed out, layering multiple layers of funding into various portions of the project to cover the project overall. It is, this piece of it, the wetland piece, is designed to improve water quality without minimizing any of the flood risk. It is designed to accommodate the same amount of flood risk as the levee and improve water quality by creating a wetland where sediments and vegetation and wildlife can grow. The remainder of the project isn't funded yet. We'll discuss that next week as our discussion of the overall River Vision and where it's at, and make all of the council more aware of the River Vision and where we sit with that. But it also meets all the comprehensive plan goals in creating additional green space for the community, improving the river. Consistently, the river is one of our most commented on aspects in our community and that people want to see improved, and so this will achieve and meet that comprehensive plan goal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Right, council, how would you like to proceed?
Mayor,
Yes.
I would move to approve agenda item number 18, the additional service request number 6 for Centennial Rainy Levee Setback Project for $46,000, and authorize the mayor's signature, subject to legal department review.
Second.
All right, we have a first from Councilman Paulson and a second from Councilwoman Swanson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Paulson?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Bates?
Yes.
Mangum?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Satterfield?
Yes.
Agenda item 19, Terry First Engineering Design and Construction Services Proposal Acceptance/Contract, Consor North America, Inc. Council may wish to approve the following requests regarding the Terry First Connection Project. A, accept the recommendation to award the request for qualifications for the Terry First Connection Engineering, Design, and Construction Services to Consor North America, Inc., and if accepted, B, approve a contract between Consor North America, Inc. and the City of Pocatello for the Terry First Connection Engineering, Design, and Construction Services in the amount of $758,126, and authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents, subject to legal department review. Funding for this project is authorized and provided through the FHWA Terry First Connection Grant.
Mayor,
Yes,
I'd like
Councilman.
to ask some questions
Yes.
of staff.
Evening.
This project, how much more money is needed to fund the completion of this project?
Christine Howe, Grants Manager. We originally applied for a Department of Transportation grant for $8.5 million for this project. So my rough math is about $7.7 million to accomplish final design and construction. Obviously, with the time delays, there would be cost escalations in there, so we could anticipate it would be a slightly higher cost for future.
Have we identified any other sources to get some of these funds to execute this?
At this time, our goal would be to, if Congress reappropriates funds for the DOT Build Grant Program, we would seek that funding source. Part of our goal with this initial design is to have the preliminary design plans and that construction cost finalized in time for a potential application under that program, as we feel would be the most competitive that we could seek federal funding for.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
Christine, could you talk a little bit about the history of this grant and explain to the public how a huge chunk of that was pulled back, the remainder being the $758,000 odd dollars here, and explain, could that $758,000 be used for anything besides this project?
Sure. So this project was originally, the concept up for it came from a different grant we received from the Build Better Blocks program, and that the planning department implemented to come up with what's called the Terry First Plan. And that plan was to create a bidirectional or buffered bike lane from the university area down Terry Street, down First, over the Benton overpass into downtown to connect both those neighborhoods. So we used that to apply for a DOT grant under their Reconnecting Neighborhoods program. And we were successfully awarded $8.5 million from the Department of Transportation for this project. And we did have a grant agreement in place with the federal government for that program. They do obligate funds in phases. So our first phase was to complete the preliminary design and engineering for the approximately $800,000. And then under the Big Beautiful Bill Act, the remaining funds on that contract were rescinded by that legislation. So we were, our grant agreement changed so that we were no longer able to utilize the other funds that we were awarded because it was rescinded. And so we did confirm with Federal Highways that we're able to move forward with this phase of the project to complete that under the existing grant agreement. And so as I mentioned, our goal is to put this project into, get it going so that we can seek other funding sources in the future.
I see. So there's not another way to spend this $758,000 odd dollars?
No, it's tied to this specific project under that grant agreement and the requirements for those funds.
Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Hi, Christine. So the balance of the money that was rescinded, is that, I mean, is it just dead, or is it on life support, or any chance that that might be resurrected?
It's my understanding that it is fully rescinded and given back to the government, so we don't have any ability to pull on those funds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christine. Council, how would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move that we approve the Terry First Engineering Design and Construction Service proposal, acceptance of the contract with Consor North America, Inc., A, accepting the recommendation to award the request for qualifications for the Terry First Connection Engineering, Design, and Construction Services to Consor North America, Inc., and if accepted, B, approve a contract between Consor North America, Inc. and the City of Pocatello for the Terry First Connection Engineering, Design, and Construction Services in the amount of $758,126, subject to legal department review and authorizing mayor's signature on all pertinent documents.
Second.
Thank you. It's a mouthful. We have a first from Councilwoman Swanson and a second from Councilman Bates. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Swanson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Our final agenda item is ordinances. The city has the following options for reading ordinances. If the council makes no motion, the ordinance will be read on 3 different days, 2 readings of which may be title only, and 1 reading of which shall be in full and placed on final passage for publication. Example motions are option 1 for 1 reading under rule suspension, option 2 for 3 separate readings. Before the ordinance can be read under option 1, the council must pass said motion by a vote of 1/2 plus 1, total of 4 for the full council. Ordinance ready for reading are as follows. 20A, an ordinance amending Pocatello Municipal Code, Chapter 13.30, Utility Billing Services, to clarify and improve the function of the title. 20B, okay, and so apologies, that, how would you like that read before I go further?
On
Mr.
20,
Mayor.
just 20A.
Yeah,
On
we're
this.
just-
Okay, just 20A. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would move that the ordinance agenda item A be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Paulson. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Thank you. I believe this is the portion where we have Jared read the actual ordinance.
The title of the ordinance is an ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, amending Title 13, Chapter 30, Utility Billing Services of the revised and compiled ordinances of the City of Pocatello, specifically amending Sections 13.30.010 definitions, 13.30.020 authority and duties, 13.30.030 general billing procedures, 13.30.040 establishing accounts, 13.30.060 more than one consumer on single meter, 13.30.070 level pay plan, 13.30.080 adjustments, 13.30.090 access to premises and meter, 13.30.100 due dates, and 13.30.110 delinquent service charge, suspension of service, hearing procedure prior to termination of service. To provide clarity to current policies and regulations associated with the City of Pocatello Utility Billing Department, and providing that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
Thank you. I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass?
Bates,
No.
Mangum,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Satterfield,
No.
Swanson.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I believe next I will go to 20B. Okay,
Mr. Mayor.
all right. Yeah, so I'm sorry about this. I'm kind of like a newbie still. An ordinance amending Pocatello Municipal Code Title 15 by repealing Section 15.12.140 daycare operations and Section 15.12.145 children group treatment center operations to comply with Idaho Code and improve the efficiency of said chapter. All right, and how How would you like that read?
Mr. Mayor, I would move that the ordinance agenda item B, or 20B, be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be read, or only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Okay, we have a first from Councilman Mangum and a second from Councilman Bates. Aubriana, please call the roll.
Mangum,
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
No.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
And Jared, at this time, if you could read the ordinance.
An ordinance of the City of Pocatello, a municipal corporation of Idaho, repealing Chapter 15.12.140 daycare operations and Chapter 15.12.145 children group treatment center operations of the revised and compiled ordinances of the City of Pocatello, 1983, and providing that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
Thank you. I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass? Aubriana, please call the roll.
Bates,
Yes.
Mangum,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Paulson,
I do just want to say I sincerely thank fire for what you guys do stepping up in this situation, but out of principle against the state, no.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Swanson.
I would echo Councilman Paulson's statement and vote no.
Right, thank you. Before we adjourn, I just see out in the audience, we have a couple of members or leaders, it looks like from the Idaho International Choral Festival. So welcome. Would you like to quickly introduce yourselves?
Sure. Mayor Dahlquist, City Council members, thank you so much for doing the reduction in fees for us. My name is Barbara Kurtz. I'm the Executive Director of the Idaho International Choral Festival. This gentleman is our Logistics Manager. He's Gene Kurtz, who also happens to be my husband. The Choral Festival is near and dear to our hearts. We've done it every 3 years since 1999, and the city has always partnered with us for that reduction in fees. This coming year, this year in July, we are going to welcome 9 choirs from 4 continents. And we come together to sing. We literally sing the world together. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Come to the concerts on those nights. You'll be part of it. And we do activities together, cultural exchange together. We sing a lot. We rehearse, we perform, and it's in July, and those afternoons are hot. So when they're not rehearsing, they like to do some recreation. And your reduction in fees allows that to happen for us. They love the aquatic center, the zoo. It'll be a really special event. So thank you so much for supporting us. We've got host families who the singers actually stay in the homes of Pocatello Chubbuck residents. And it's just a fabulous event, and we just really appreciate your partnership. Thank you so much.
Great.
The Kurtzes are some good people.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Magnum. We go way back.
You go way back, yeah. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Okay, thank you for all your efforts to bring this important event to Pocatello. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor.
And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.
She was on that radio show too.